Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into some seriously creepy stuff. We're talking about famous people who just vanished. Poof, gone without a trace. And honestly, the stories behind these disappearances are absolutely wild. So grab your snacks, get comfortable, and let's get into it. Alright, so picture this. It's 1949, and Hollywood is absolutely booming. Jean Spangler is living the dream, right? She's this gorgeous actress who moved from Seattle to New York to make it big. And she actually did it. She landed roles alongside Kirk Douglas, worked with Elizabeth Taylor, and was really starting to get somewhere in the industry. But here's where it gets dark. On October 7th, 1949, Jean tells her sister-in-law, "Hey, I'm gonna go meet my ex-husband to talk about child support." Pretty normal, right? She's 26 years old, just running a quick errand. She stops at a grocery store near her house. People see her. Everything seems fine. And then, she's just gone. Never comes home. Never calls. Nothing. 2 days later, someone finds her purse at the entrance to Griffith Park in LA. And guys, both straps are torn off, like someone literally ripped it off her arm. The purse is empty, but according to her sister-in-law, Jean didn't even take money with her that day. But here's the creepiest part. There's a note inside, and it says, "Kirk, can't wait any longer, going to see Dr. Scott. It will work best this way while mother is away." So naturally, police are like, okay, let's find every Kirk and every Dr. Scott in the area. They check everyone. And guess what? None of them knew Jean. Not a single one. Over 200 people searched for her. Police, volunteers, everyone. And they found absolutely nothing. No clues, no leads, nothing. Her ex-husband? They looked at him first, obviously, but there wasn't enough evidence. There were also rumors she was involved with someone connected to organized crime, but again, nothing concrete. The case went cold. And to this day, nobody knows what happened to Jean Spangler. Did someone hurt her? Did she run away to start over? We'll probably never know. Okay, this one is absolutely terrifying, especially if you're a parent. So it's 1989 in Harlem, New York. Two little boys, Christopher Dansby and Shane Walker, disappeared from the same playground. These cases are so eerily similar that they have to be connected, right? Here's what makes it so creepy. These kids didn't know each other. Their moms didn't know each other. But they lived in the same housing complex, and both incidents happened at the exact same playground at the same time of day on the same day of the week. Let me break it down for you. May 18th, 1989, around 7 p.m., Christopher's mom leaves her 2-year-old son with his grandmother while she runs to the store. The grandmother takes her eyes off him for just a moment. Literally one moment. And when she looks back, he's gone. 3 months later, August 10th, same year, same time of day. Shane Walker, who's only 19 months old, is at the same park. His mom Rosa is sitting on a bench watching him when 2 older kids come up and ask if they can play with Shane. She says sure. Then a man sits down next to her and starts chatting. Just casual conversation. She's being polite, looking at him while they talk. And in that split second when she looks back at her baby, he's vanished. Guys, this is straight out of a horror movie. So what do investigators think? Well, there's a few theories. Some people think there was a conspiracy to steal babies for adoption. Like maybe someone who couldn't adopt legally decided to just take kids. Others think it could be drug-related. That someone was stealing children to sell them for drug money. I know it's horrible to even think about. And then there's the most terrifying theory of all. What if there was a serial killer operating in that housing project? Rosa, Shane's mom, even got a phone call once saying her son was buried in an abandoned building, but police never found any proof. These cases are still unsolved. And those two little boys? Never found. Alright, let's talk about Ambrose Bierce. If you've never heard of him, he was basically the Edgar Allan Poe of his time. A master of dark, creepy stories. He wrote The Devil's Dictionary and An Occurrence at Owl Creek Bridge, and his work is still studied today. But here's where his life gets as mysterious as his stories. In 1913, when Bierce was 71 years old, he decided he wanted to cover the Mexican Revolution. Because why not travel to an active war zone when you're in your 70s? Very normal behavior. So he tours his old Civil War battlefields, then heads to Mexico to tag along with Pancho Villa's forces. He's literally observing battles, getting right in the middle of the action. On December 26, 1913, he writes a letter to a friend saying he's leaving for an unknown destination. And then, he's never heard from again. Just gone. The U.S. tried to investigate. They interviewed people, including some of Villa's men, but everyone gave different stories. One rumor said Bierce was executed by firing squad in Sierra Mojada, Mexico, but nobody could confirm it. Now here's where it gets really interesting. Some people think Bierce planned the whole thing. Like, he deliberately made his disappearance mysterious. Why? Because in his own stories, he talked about suicide all the time. He was terrified of dying from old age or disease. So some researchers think he didn't disappear at all. They think he went to Mexico knowing exactly what he was doing, and that he ended his life on his own terms. The ultimate mystery writer creating his own mysterious ending. Honestly, it's kind of poetic in a dark way. Okay, so imagine Manhattan in 1910. It's busy, crowded, people everywhere. And somehow a wealthy, beautiful socialite just disappears in the middle of the day, in broad daylight, with witnesses around. That's exactly what happened to Dorothy Arnold. Dorothy had it all, guys. Her dad was a Harvard graduate who owned a successful perfume company. The Arnold family was basically American royalty. They descended from a Mayflower passenger. They were loaded, they were famous, they were untouchable. Or so they thought. December 12, 1910. Dorothy tells her mom she's going shopping for a dress for her sister's debutante ball. She runs errands, buys some chocolates, stops at a bookstore. Everyone who saw her said she seemed happy, normal, nothing weird. She was supposed to go buy a dress, but she never made it to that shop, and she never came home. Here's the crazy part. Her family didn't even call the police. Why? Because they were worried about bad publicity. They didn't want their good name dragged through the mud. So instead, they hired private investigators and asked friends to help. When that didn't work, they finally went to the NYPD almost a month later. By then, the trail was ice cold. So what happened to Dorothy? There's a few theories. Some people think she ran away. She wanted to be a writer, but her family didn't approve because of their social status. Maybe she faked her own disappearance to start fresh somewhere else under a new name. Others think she was kidnapped. Rich women were being held for ransom back then. Maybe she fought back and things went wrong. Maybe her body was disposed of somewhere. And then there's the theory that someone she knew killed her. A former lover, maybe. A rival. Someone with a grudge. Over 100 years later, we still don't know. Dorothy Arnold's case has been the subject of books, articles, documentaries, and it's still unsolved. Alright, number 1. This one hits different because Sean Flynn had everything going for him. He was the son of legendary Hollywood actor Errol Flynn. He could have easily coasted on his dad's fame, made a bunch of mediocre movies, and lived a comfortable life. But that's not what he wanted. Sean tried acting for a bit, but it never clicked. What he really loved was photography. And not just any photography. He wanted to capture the grittiest, most intense, most dangerous moments in the world. So he became a war photographer. In the 1960s, Sean went to Vietnam. He worked with other high-risk photojournalists who would do absolutely anything to get the perfect shot. They'd put themselves directly in harm's way, and Sean was right there with them. In March 1966, he got shot in the knee while covering the war. Did that stop him? Nope. In April of that same year, he was on patrol with the U.S. Green Berets when they got ambushed. Even though he wasn't military, they handed him a rifle and he had to fight his way out. Most people would quit after that. Not Sean. In 1970, Sean and another photographer named Dana Stone were sent to Cambodia. They were covering the conflict between pro-government forces and the Khmer Rouge. They had a press conference in Saigon, then hopped on their motorcycles to go interview some enemy combatants. Multiple people warned them not to go. They went anyway. According to reports, they were taken off their motorcycles and marched toward a tree line. And that was the last time anyone saw them alive. Nobody knows exactly what happened. Some think they were held in a prison camp and eventually killed. Others think they were executed immediately after capture. And then there's the conspiracy theory. Some people think the US government was involved. That Sean and Dana had photos or information that compromised military operations, so they were sent on that assignment knowing they wouldn't come back. We'll probably never know the truth. But Sean Flynn's story is a reminder of just how dangerous the pursuit of truth can be. So there you have it, guys. People who just disappeared. Some of these cases might get solved one day. Others probably never will. The scary part? Could happen to anyone. Famous or not, rich or poor, these people just vanished. And their families are still looking for answers. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss our next deep dive into the creepy and unexplained. Drop a comment below and let me know which case freaked you out the most. And as always, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Stay safe out there.